Your energy is your superpower, and most people are bleeding it out to anyone who asks for their attention. The need to be liked isn't just emotional dependency, it's spiritual disconnection. When you're addicted to external validation, you've literally cut yourself off from your higher self, from the creator frequency within you, from the frequency that creates your life. Today, I'm teaching you the art of detachment, not just from opinions, but from the lower frequency that keeps you small and separated from your true power. This is part 4 of our Wake Up to Yourself series. We've talked about consciousness, identity, and living in the past. But none of that matters if you're still operating from the frequency of needing others to complete you. What we are really talking about today is reconnection. Reconnection to your higher self, to the creator consciousness within you, to the frequency that doesn't need anyone's permission to exist. The book, The Courage to be Disliked, isn't just about psychology. It's about spiritual freedom. It's about remembering that you are already whole, already connected to Source, already worthy, not because of what others think, but because of what you are. The courage to be disliked is actually the courage to trust your connection to Source over your need for social acceptance. Think about it. Every great spiritual teacher, every prophet, every awakened being was profoundly misunderstood. Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi, they all had the courage to be disliked because they were tuned into higher frequency than mass consciousness. They weren't performing for human approval. They were expressing divine truth. When you need to be liked, you're essentially saying, their opinion matters more than my inner knowing. Their acceptance is more important than my alignment with Source. I would rather be approved by humans than approved by the universe. But you were created by an intelligence that doesn't make mistakes. Your soul chose this experience, this body, this mission. When you abandon yourself for others' comfort, you're abandoning the Creator's design. Having the courage to be disliked means trusting that you were made exactly as you are meant to be. Let me get bold about something most people are afraid to face. You need to treat people in your life like chapters in a book. And here is what I mean by that. Your life is your book. Your name is on the cover. Not your family's, not your friends, not your partners, it's your name. Some characters belong in chapter 1, but they have no place in chapter 10. Some support the next version of you, others keep you stuck in old patterns. What's the decision that will change your life? If they support the next chapter, the next version of you, bring them with you. If not, start a new chapter and leave them behind. This isn't cruel, this is conscious creation. You might return to some people in later chapters, some you will say goodbye forever. And becoming the best version of yourself comes with many goodbyes. Every goodbye to what no longer serves you is a hello to what's meant for you. I want you to audit every person in your life right now. Do they celebrate your growth or subtly sabotage it? Do they encourage your dreams or plant seeds of doubt? Do they inspire you to be better or they are keeping you comfortable in mediocrity? Do they support your spiritual evolution or mock your inner work? Family members are included. Blood doesn't give anyone unlimited access to drain your life force energy. Friends from childhood are also included. Just because you grew up together doesn't mean that you need to grow old together. Romantic partners as well. Love isn't enough if you are not aligned with your highest path. Colleagues, bosses, clients, everyone is included. The people who are meant for your next chapter, they will feel excited about your transformation. They will support your boundaries without making you feel guilty about it. They will add energy to your life instead of depleting it. They resonate with the frequency that you are becoming, not who you used to be. The people who belong in past chapters, they will try to keep you small because your growth threatens them. They will try to make you feel guilty for changing, drain your energy every time you interact with them, judge your spiritual journey, make you feel like you have to dim your light to be around them. So stop feeling guilty about outgrowing people. You are not responsible for taking everyone with you on your journey. Some people chose to stay where they are. Honor their choice by honoring yours. Everything is frequency. And when you're addicted to approval, you're operating from the frequency of luck or survival mode or scarcity mindset. I'm not enough unless they say that I am. This frequency disconnects you from your higher self because your higher self knows that you're already complete. Your soul knows you're already worthy. The greater consciousness within you knows you're already perfect. When you're tuned into approval addiction, you can't hear that chirp. Let me share what these frequencies actually look like in your body. When you're with divine approval from the source, from your higher self, you feel calm in your knowing, like your chest and stomach are softening. You feel spacious around your heart. Energy is moving upwards. It feels like lightness that is lifting you up. You feel grounded and expansive at the same time. You feel safe and limitless. You feel peaceful detachment. You care about things, but you are not attached to them. And everything that you want to create gives you chills and goosebumps. The time is slow. You can be present. You are calm. The voice in your head is saying that you are already enough. This path is true, even if it's not popular. Keep going. You're grounded. But human approval from ego and performance will give you tension in your chest and throat, like you're preparing to be judged. It will leak your energy to impress or please others. You will be hyper aware, scanning the room and checking reactions. It will give you constriction and tension in your shoulders, jaw, gut. It will give you shaky self-worth and dependence on others' reaction. And it will give constant need of ego boosts. The voice in your head will be, was that good enough? What will they think? I hope I'm doing this right. When you move from human to divine approval, it's like exhaling after holding your breath for years. You stop performing, you start being. Let me share how this showed up in my journey. I realized I was treating people like gods, giving them the power to determine my worth, my peace, and my path. Especially family members. I didn't really care about people in general, but family members owned me and some other close people that I truly cared about. I was unconsciously saying, your opinion of me matters more than my connection to source. And back then, I didn't even discover source because God in religious sense didn't make sense to me. So I didn't have any kind of connection with the Creator. My family didn't respond well at first when I started honoring my energy boundaries. They thought that I was awkward, that something was wrong with me, but I sat down and I had a very long conversation, actually a few conversations with them, and they understood. But here is the non-negotiable. If someone doesn't understand and they keep crossing your boundaries, this is disrespect. Feel free to politely cut them off and remove them. Even if it's a family member, no matter who it is. I do have one close person who has very, very, very limited access to me. But something wonderful is that my relationship with my parents has never been better after I connected with my higher self. Here is one example from my personal life that many would consider as dismissal and disapproval, but I didn't. I got an idea for my birthday to create a one-month challenge that excited me so much. My audience was traders. Most of them care only about materialistic things. Money, the holy grail strategy, not about learning about themselves, understanding themselves, connecting with themselves, or working on themselves. And of course, this is the exact reason why all of them lose. I put all efforts to prepare and organize everything for the challenge, and only one person signed up. Did it disappoint me? Not at all. It might seem like dismissal and disapproval for others who don't understand what connection with higher self looks like. But I just knew that this was what led me to creating the course and understanding that I should remove everything trading related from my channel and focus on the topics where my heart is, so that I can find my soul aligned followers. Since I did that, I stopped with trading content. My creativity and energy for content went to a next level. Now I can feel deeply that I'm on the right path. Even if only one person resonates with me and is listening to me, it's better than 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 people that are not in alignment with my core values. When I learned detachment, everything shifted. I could love people without needing them to love me back. I could care about them without needing them to care about me in return. And my trading got to a next level because I was no longer attached to the results. Your energy is literally life force energy. It's creator consciousness flowing through you. When you give it away carelessly, you are dishonoring the divine. Here is what most people don't want to hear. Every minute you spend with energy drainers is a minute stolen from your dreams, your purpose, and your highest path. Before, when I was still in my low states, I could not feel the difference, or I wasn't aware of it, but my body felt it. Your body is always telling you the truth about people. Some people enhance your spiritual connection. You feel more creative around them. Your intuition gets much stronger. You feel more aligned with your purpose. You remember who you really are, and time feels expensive and meaningful around such people. But others are energetically misaligned, and you will feel small around them. Your inner voice will get quieter. You forget your gifts and dreams. You start questioning your worth and yourself. You start doubting yourself. Time feels heavy and draining. You feel depleted, exhausted, tired, and drained after spending time with them. It can be anyone, even a taxi driver talking to you, a cashier, or a colleague. There are occasions when you have to be present with people who drain you. I know, I understand, because that's the case for me as well. That's how everyone is. Limit the time as much as possible and make sure to recharge after being with such kind of people. But if you have the chance to remove them completely, do it without thinking a second, and you'll thank me later. This is the energy you need to build your dream life, your dream business, dream relationship, and family dynamics. Are these people worth giving your energy to, leaving you with no energy to show up at your best version when you need it the most? Are these people worth more than your dream business that will give you freedom to improve your life and live your life as you want? This applies to jobs that drain your soul, even if they pay well. Activities that are depleting you, even if they are productive. Environments that lower your frequency, even if they are convenient. Conversations as well that are draining your energy, even if they seem as very important. I get questions from traders about perfect routines for trading. There is no one size fits all. You should find what works for you, what fills you with energy, what makes you calm, collected, and peaceful. What works for me might not work for you. Learn to trust yourself, learn to connect to yourself, and trust your body. And you can't do that if you focus on the external. You have to look within. Here are some practical examples how I'm protecting my energy without being confrontational. When you start feeling heavy or drained, ask yourself, is this mine? Is this aligned? If it's yours, if it's aligned, keep it. If not, drop it. If you feel tension in your body, try to pull down your shoulders and take slow breaths. When someone is dumping negative energy, you can prepare a few phrases to set peaceful boundaries, such as, I hear you, do you want support, or just someone to listen. I want to hold space for you, but I don't have the capacity right now to do it well. When you need space, you can just say, I'm just moving slow today, I need to recharge myself. Or I'm not in a chatty space right now, but I'm here. When someone oversteps you, you can just say that doesn't work for me right now, but thank you for thinking of me. So you don't reject them, but you deny them politely. There are some micro actions that can also preserve your energy, such as turning your phone upside down so that you're not gonna feel distracted with all the notifications. Pause before answering questions and mirror back instead of absorbing people's energy. What do I mean by that? Don't be like a sponge to absorb their frequency. If a friend talks for 30 minutes how exhausted, anxious, and overwhelmed they are, you might leave drained and heavy, questioning your mood. You might think, maybe I should be worried too, or feel guilty for being high or happy because my friend is like that. If that's the case, you have taken over their emotional state. When your friend says, I'm so overwhelmed, everything is falling apart, and you are like, oh no, maybe things are gonna get even worse, now you feel anxious as well. You absorb their energy. Mirroring back is when your friend says, I'm overwhelmed, everything is falling apart, you say, that sounds like you have a lot to carry. You hold space without carrying it for them. I can care without caring. So you care for them as a person, but you don't take to carry their problems and emotions. Here are some activities I do for recharging. Manicure, pedicure, massage, walk in nature, reading a good book with some delicious fruits, dancing. I'm spoiling myself. These are things that are recharging me and helping me to get my energy back. But as I said, everyone should find their own activities and surroundings that are nourishing them, because it's not the same for everyone. Now you might think, how do I handle guilt when setting boundaries, especially with people who haven't done anything wrong but are draining you? Name the guilt for what it is. It's a survival pattern. That guilt isn't proof that you are wrong. It's your inner child saying, if I don't give, I will lose love. They will be hurt and I'll be the bad one. But the truth is that you are not being cruel. You're just being conscious. Boundaries aren't punishments. They are protection of your life force energy. You should reframe it to, I'm not abandoning them, I'm just returning to myself. If you keep overriding your own energy, they will get a version of you that will be irritated, numb, or avoidant. And that's not love, that's self-betrayal. Try to set neutral boundaries, not defensive ones. I'm in low energy space right now, I need some time to reset, or you haven't done anything wrong, I just noticed that I've been spread too thin lately. Affirm to yourself, I can still be a kind person even when someone feels let down by my boundary. Your first thought is conditioning. Your second thought is awareness, and the third thought is your choice. Remember that. And the first thought, conditioning, is just coming from trauma. So if that happens, this just means that you have more work to do. This brings everything together at the deepest level, and of course in future videos we're gonna go deeper, look at different things from different perspectives for those who feel a bit confused to understand what I'm referring to in this video. In the first video we talked about the discipline myth. You can't stick to habits that are misaligned and when you are energetically scattered by people who don't honor your path and you lack consciousness. In the second video, we talked about identity attachment. When you are attached to being what others want, you disconnect from who your source created you to be. And living in the past wounds keep you operating from victim consciousness instead of greater consciousness. This video was about approval addiction. It's the main thing that disconnects you from the source, choosing human opinion over divine truth. When you connect to the greater consciousness, you become disciplined because you are aligned with your purpose. Your identity becomes clear because you know you are a divine expression. You heal the past because you remember you are here to create, not to repeat. You stop needing approval because you are already validated by the universe. This is what spiritual power looks like. Not needing anyone's permission to be yourself, not requiring anyone's approval to express your gifts, not asking anyone's opinion about your divine assignment or your mission. When I made this shift from approval addiction to source connection, everything changed. Instead of asking myself, do they like me? Am I doing this right? Will they approve? I started asking, am I aligned with my highest self? What does my highest self want to create through me? What mission is my highest self giving to me? How can I serve from my authentic gifts? And what was the result? My energy became mine again. My creativity exploded. My relationship transformed from needy to generous. My work became a spiritual practice instead of performance. And most importantly, I remembered that I'm not here to fit in with human expectations. I'm here to tune into divine inspiration and let it create through me. When you operate from this frequency, you become magnetic, not because you're trying to attract anything, but because source consciousness itself is very attractive. Soon, I will share some deep inner work that I've done recently and record the evidence to show you what's possible in real time when you do inner work. I recently said no to something that everyone thought was crazy, but I don't want to reveal too much right now. You'll see soon. What I'm doing with this decision is saying no to comfort, to short-term reward, and saying yes to my soul. This might not be the last part of the Wake Up to Yourself series, because what comes next is pure creation consciousness. When you're no longer attached to outcomes, when you're no longer addicted to approval, when you're no longer bleeding your energy to people and activities that don't deserve it, that's when you become a true creator. The courage to be disliked is really the courage to choose your soul over security. And that's what I've done. And you will see soon what is exactly what I'm talking about. The courage to be disliked isn't about being difficult or controversial. It's about being so connected to your higher self that human opinion becomes completely irrelevant to your sense of worth. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You are here to express something unique, to be authentic, to express something divine, something that can only come through you, which is your mission. Your energy is precious because it's life force energy, the one that creates your life, creator consciousness that is flowing through your human experience. I'll talk about this in future videos to explain more in detail. So if you're interested, make sure to subscribe. I know that I used a couple of spiritual terms that you might not be familiar with. Guard your energy accordingly, share it wisely, and use it purposefully. The people who are meant for your next chapter will resonate with your authentic frequency. The ones who don't, they're showing you exactly why boundaries are necessary. If you want to join my book club or community, if you're ready to remember or to discover who you really are beyond human opinion, link is in the description below. Never dim your light because it's too bright for others. Your higher self is waiting for you to choose divine truth over social approval. Your authentic power is waiting for you to have the courage to be disliked by those who can't handle your light. Choose source, everything else is secondary. Take care, and I'll see you soon again.